In the last video, we covered variables in Python. In this video, we are taking it a step further and exploring data types. These are the heart of Python programming. Let's start. A data type represents the type of the data which is stored into a variable or memory. There are two types of data types. One is built-in data type, another one is user-defined data type. Built-in data types are already available in Python, and user-defined data types are created by the programmers. Let's discuss about built-in data types. Let's start with numeric types. We have three numeric data types available in Python. One is integer to define the whole numbers, and next float to define the decimal numbers, and next complex to define the real and imaginary part of the numbers. Now let's define those data types. Let's print those variables. So now we created the variables with the required values and then we printed. But how can we know which data type it belongs to? So in Python we have a function type. It is used to return the type of the variable. So let me print the types as well. So we have printed. So 30 is integer and 79.67 is float and 2 plus 3j is complex. We haven't mentioned anywhere about the data types. The Python itself, it will take the most suitable data type to the given value. So along with the type, we have one more function available in Python to know the data type, to check the data type, I can say. So is instance. It's a function. There we can pass the variable name and you want to check whether it is an integer or not. It returns either true or false. Here age is integer, return true. Let me check with float. It is returning me false because it's not a float number. Let's try with price. It's a true. And now we can convert the integer to float and float to integer. How we can convert? So first let me convert float number to integer. So for that we can use int function, int of the variable name, price. So it will remove the decimal part of the number. So it returned me 79. And also I can convert the integer number to float, float of age. It will add that decimal place to the age variable. Now let's discuss about sequence types. Sequence types are used to store the collection of items. So we have three sequence types. One is string, another one is list, and next tuple. First starts with string type. A string is a collection of characters which are enclosed in single, double or triple quotes. Let's create a sample string. I'm creating a greeting. Hello Python. I'll print this greeting along with the type. So I have created a variable greeting with a string value and its type is printed as string. So here also the Python has chosen the suitable data type to the variable. Now let's discuss about when to use these single quotes. We can use the single quotes for creating the simple strings without having any single quote inside the string. Let me create one with single quote. So here I have created a variable greeting1 with single quoted characters. So it printed. Next I want to print the one more variable. Here it thrown me a syntax error, invalid syntax. Why? Here my two single quotes are completed at the it only, and the remaining characters are escaped. So to avoid this issue, we can use double quotes when we have a single quote inside a string. Let me enclose this overall string with double quotes. Now it's successfully created. Or we can use the escaping quotes. So if you want to use single quotes inside a single quotes or double quotes inside a double quotes, you can use the backslash to escape them. Let me create it. Let me take this one, and here just I'll add backslash. Now printed. So this backslash tells to the Python as the string is still there, it's not yet completed. Let's do the same thing with double quotes. So it's printed. Now let's discuss when to use the triple quotes. Triple quotes are used for strings that span multiple lines, or when you want to include both single and double quotes without escaping them. Okay, let's create one example. So if you want to create a string in multiple lines, you can use the triple quotes. Now let's create one more with double and single quotes inside. So here I am enclosing everyone with single quotes and data elevate hub with double quotes. Let's print. See, for everyone single quotes are there, and for data elevate hub double quotes are present. Python provides several ways to format the strings, making it easy to include variables or expressions in your text. The first option is you can use the f strings. Use f strings for concise and readable formatting. Let me create one. I'm creating a name as Bob and age as 28. I need a string like formatted string equal to my name is name and my age is age. Let's print. Here the text is printed as it is because Python treated everything as a string. But you have to tell Python there are some variables are there which are enclosed in the curly brackets. For that you have to use the f here. It should starts with f. Now if you print this, so my name is Bob and my age is 28. It's printed. And now we can use the format method as well. Let's achieve this thing with dot format as well. So here no need to mention the f formatting and delete this variable, just curly brackets are sufficient. And now in these curly brackets we have to pass dot format option. There we have to pass the order. The first my name is, here I have to, the first variable should be name and the second one should be age. So now it is inserted, or you can use the values as well. So here the 0th place name is there, so it will get inserted here, and the age is at first place and one is get inserted here. So this is also working. And also you can use the percentage formatting as well. It's a old style. Now let's discuss about lists. Lists are the ordered and mutable collection of elements. Here mutable means we can change the values of the list once it is defined. And list can contain any data types. And list follows indexing concept. So indexing here we can access the elements of the list using two indexing methods, either positive indexing or negative indexing. So positive indexing is from left to right and it starts with 0, and negative indexing is from right to left and it starts with -1. If you want to, in the example, if you want to access Python, you have to pass the index as 0 or negative index -5. So let's create the above list and try. Okay, here I have created a list as A. Now I want to access Java. For that I have to pass index as 2, positive index. If I want to access it using negative index, I have to use -3. And here these are immutable in nature. It means we can able to modify once it is created. Now I want to change the third element Java to data. Let me change. So for that I have to pass the index as 2 equal to data, and let me print list. So here I changed the Java to data, so I can able to modify. And next let's discuss about tuples. Tuples are also similar to lists, but here tuples are immutable in nature. Once we defined a tuple, we cannot change the values inside it, but list we can able to change. That is the only difference. Let me create one tuple. Okay, I have created a tuple. Tuples are enclosed in round brackets. Lists are enclosed in square brackets. Now I want to access the middle element. For that I have to pass 1 as the index. So it returned middle element. Now let's try to modify the 1999. Now I am assigning a of 1 equal to 2024. It throws me a type error. It means a tuple object does not support item assignment. So we cannot modify the tuple, but we can create a new tuple with the existing tuple. And next we have mapping type. Mapping type is nothing but the values are stored in key value pairs, and we commonly called it as dictionary in Python. Let's create a dictionary. So you can create a dictionary with flower brackets, or you can use dict function. So sorry. So let's print d comma e type of d type of. So the d and e are dictionaries, and both are initialized as empty dictionaries. Let's create some values also. Now I created a dictionary person, and it contains a name and age. To access the elements of the dictionary, we have to pass the key. So if you want to access the name, person of name. So here we can access it with keys. So here name is the key and Bob is the value. The above sequence types, which are list, tuple and dictionary, these are very important concepts in Python. These are very useful in data engineering. There are some functions in Python which are already defined, built-in functions. We can use those functions to transform the data inside the sequence types. We'll discuss more once we have covered the conditionals and loops. Now let's discuss about boolean type. Boolean type represents two values, true and false. Let's define the variables. Let me print those. Those two are booleans. So either you can define it using true or false. In numerical ways also we can define the boolean variables. For example, for true you can use 1 and for false you can define it using 0. So true is nothing but 1, false is nothing but 0. Now let's discuss about set types. Sets are the collection of unique elements. It doesn't allow any duplicate elements. There are two types of sets. One is set and frozen set. The difference is sets are immutable. Now let's discuss about set types. Sets are the collection of unique items. It doesn't allow duplicates in it. There are two types of sets. One is set and another one is frozen set. So set is mutable in nature. Once we defined, we can modify the elements. And next one is frozen set. Once we defined, we cannot be able to modify the elements. Let's create set and frozen set. You can initialize the set as set of function. It's a set, or you can use set of function and you can pass one list inside it. It's a set, or you can define a group of elements with curly brackets. Okay, now I will add one duplicate element to the set. So but in my output contains only unique elements. Okay, now let me add an element into the set B. For that, B dot add of. So 7 is added. Let me add one more 7. The result remains same, because even if you add 7 n times, but it will store only 1 7. And next one is frozen set. So frozen set is immutable. We cannot change once we defined. So we can define the frozen set using frozen set function, and inside you can pass the list. Frozen set of, we pass one list. So I have created one frozen set. Now let me try to add an element to frozen set. So we cannot add elements to the frozen set. So it means we can copy the frozen set, we can create a new frozen set, but we cannot edit the existing frozen set. And now let's discuss about binary types. So binary type stores the data in raw binary format. So there are three types of binary types. One is bytes array, and the other one is memory view. Let's start with bytes. A byte object is immutable in nature. We cannot edit the bytes object once it is created. Let's create one bytes object. To create a bytes object, the value should start with B. And also we can use bytes function to create a bytes object. For that we have to pass the which encoding you want to use. It's a mandatory parameter. So here I want to use UTF-8. By default it is UTF-8. Now created. Now let's access the elements of B. I want to access E. So it is in first position. I pass. It is given me 101. It is the ASCII value of the E. Let me update B of 1 with D. B of 1, I am assigning ASCII alias 100. So it returned me an error Bytes object does not support item assignment because it is immutable in nature. Let's create a byte object. So it throws me an error. Bytes object does not support assignment because these are immutable in nature. Now let's create a byte array. To create a byte array, we have to use the function byte array of. And again here we have to mention the b and hello. Print c comma type of c. Okay, now byte array is created. Let's access the elements. b of 1, sorry, c of 1. It's a 101. Is ASCII value. Now I am updating 1 with 100. I am updated with d. Now let's print the binary array. So E is updated with D. So it is the way of storing the data. And next we have a memory view. Memory view allows the access to the memory of a binary data without copying it. So it's a virtual view. Let's create one memory view. For that, first we can create the memory views using either bytes object or byte array object. Let me create it with byte array. So memory views will be helpful when we are working with larger byte objects. So memory views are created on top of byte array or bytes objects. So it won't copy the data, but it will point it to the actual object location. These are fast in nature when you are working with the larger arrays. It will be helpful when you are working in NumPy arrays. Now let's discuss about NoneType. NoneType represents the absence of value. It is often used as a placeholder. Let me create one NoneType. None means nothing. We created. Python's flexibility with data types makes it one of the most powerful and beginner-friendly programming languages. And understanding these types will allow you to write better and more efficient code. In the next video, we will cover conditionals and loops, the control structures that bring logic to your programs. Once you master those, you will be ready to dive into the practical transformations and operations on lists, tuples, dictionaries, and even string formatting as well. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to Data Elevate Hub. Until next time, happy coding.